welcome to our regular update in terms of what's going on Blankos Block Party NFTs. I'm John Jordan, and this is the update for the week ending 4th of February 2022. So it's been actually a pretty significant week because this is the first time, actually today, that we've been able to take the Blanko NFTs, which run on their own custom mythical blockchain, and now, if you want to, you can move them to the Ethereum blockchain, which is obviously the biggest blockchain in terms of NFT trading by miles. So quite a big deal, and that has had an impact on the pricing that we look at. So at the moment, only 5 different Blanko NFTs are allowed to be minted. It's sort of like a bit of a test to check it all sort of works properly. So only five Blankos have been allowed to be minted. All those, when those 5 were announced, their prices also not a massive increase, but sort of 25-50% sort of increase in terms of the floor price. So just to remind you that every day or so I'm basically looking at all the Blanko NFTs and looking at their floor price, basically the cheapest one you can buy. So this is sort of an underestimate, I suppose, because obviously there's lots of other sort of dynamics going on with the more expensive ones, but this is sort of a simple sort of stat we can pull every day and get a rough idea of what's going on in terms of market dynamics, at least in terms of the cheapest ones. So as ever, what I've got here is I've got all the Blankos here listed in alphabetical order. This is a Google sheet that's open. Everyone can go and have a look at it and mess around with the numbers. What I've done is I've sort of looked at some ROI figures, so return on investment. So these sort of columns here are at least sort of the interesting ones, I suppose, for me. And what they're looking at is if you bought one of these Blankos on the 3rd of August, not all of them were available then, but if you bought the cheapest, the floor price on the 3rd of August, what would be your return on investment? 3rd of August was a long time ago. There's also different dynamics going on there, so we'll sort of quickly look at that. But that's what telling you there, and obviously some of them are in positive. So the altitude, you would have made 141% return if you'd bought at the floor price and sold then at the floor price. Now it's ignoring stuff. There is tax in there as well, so I'm ignoring all that because that's complexity. So not investment advice, all that sort of stuff. Do your own research, but roughly we can see some of them are in negative figures. So if you bought Billy A Bones on the 3rd of August at the floor price and now tried to sell it at the floor price, you'd be sort of you would have lost 53%. So up and down. Similar thing here I've done from the 2nd of October, which is sort of when the we had a big, which is sort of when everyone could sort of buy and sell. That was the big thing that happened on the 2nd of October. Everyone in Blankos could buy and sell. And then I've also done it from the 1st of Jan. Should put it in there. That is the 1st of Jan. Need to put the years in now. So 1st of Jan 2022, and these ones were obviously 2021. So Blankos Block Party, in terms of the marketplace, hasn't been live for a year yet, so still to a degree fairly early. And let's have a quick look at what's been going on in terms of if we look at if you're buying stuff on the 1st of January. So even though that's sort of a month ago, a whole bunch of these ones you would have sort of lost money on, but a few of them you would have made some money on. And if we look down here, these ones here actually at the let's just highlight them. So these ones here are the 5 that you can now take to. Actually, there's another one, isn't there? This one here, Ghost White as well. So those are the ones that you can take over to the Ethereum blockchain, and these are the ones that over this short period of time have seen sort of the biggest increase, because obviously they've become in a sense sort of more valuable because you can now take these over to Ethereum. Whether you can sell them on Ethereum, who knows? But we can see here, so Boss Dino has seen the biggest increase. So if you bought one of those on the 1st of Jan and at the floor price, and if you sold it now, you'd be up over 100%. We'll see. Obviously, over time, all the Blanko NFTs will be made available to take over to Ethereum. In most cases, it doesn't make a lot of sense because the gas fees for minting these over to Ethereum is, when I did it, is about $60 to $100. Depends on the sort of gas prices on Ethereum, but expensive. So obviously, there's no point taking an $18 asset here like Clown and minting over to Ethereum unless you have a very low serial number Clown. Like if you had the serial number 1 or serial number 9, that might be more valuable. But for this one here, there's no point buying an $18 asset and then spending $100 minting it over to Ethereum, because well, I don't think there is. maybe you think differently. Economically, there isn't at the moment, at least. So let's also have a look at some graphs. Okay, so this is the graph looking at this This is looking at the sort of combined return on investment on the floor price. So basically, if you bought every NFT available on these particular days, and then sort of how does that ROI compare? If you bought the Blankos when they were made available to buy in the store at the initial minting process, and then you sold them in the marketplace, what's the return on investment? So we had this thing we've seen. Obviously, it went up massively when not everyone could buy and sell. It came down again when everyone could buy and sell. So that's why we have this sort of 2nd of October sort of timeline here. And we can see, it's gone up a little bit and down a little bit. This is the 100% line. So it's still, as an overall collection, if you just got any common or garden mint number, you would have sort of doubled your money. And we've seen this little uptick here. This has happened because of the Ethereum bridge. So let's go into a bit more detail here. So this is just since the start of, this is the start of the year. So this is 2022. So at the start of the year, it went negatively. ROI went down, and then we've seen this big uptick here, which has happened purely because those 5 Blankos NFTs have been allowed to be minted to Ethereum. So very hard to tell whether this will continue or whether it will sort of drop back to the general trend. I would imagine over time, as some of the, I think the Ethereum bridge will be important for some of the more expensive Blankos NFTs. So maybe anything over $500 on a floor price. Maybe that may be good. People on Ethereum may want to collect those. We don't know yet, though. Really, it's too early to tell whether the big Ethereum collectors are going to be sort of taking positions in some of the more expensive Blankos or not. So too hard to judge. But obviously, we can see it has been a big impact. And this sort of happens when big events, when big features are added to products. That obviously changes the dynamic, and certainly in blockchain that really happens. And we can see this as sort of going to Ethereum is adding more liquidity and allowing, giving more utility to the Blankos NFT. So maybe not a great surprise that these things, that this has sort of happened, even though this has only happened on the basis of like 5 NFTs. And we can now actually have a quick look at what's going on. So this is the OpenSea, the big marketplace, although you can use different marketplaces on Ethereum. We can see here, so far it's been 154 Blankos NFTs have been bridged to Ethereum, 71 wallets, floor price, so the cheapest, you can buy 0.4 ETH. So if you want to come in and buy one of these are the cheapest ones. They're Billy Bones. Then we have Boss Dino, a bit more expensive. And then we have some other ones. We have Space Girl and Professor Mewington and the robot TEQ63. So those are the ones. I think on my original list I was showing Peanut. I think they swapped Peanut out for the robot actually. And some of these are boxed, and they're showing in the box, and some of them are unboxed. So that's why you have a different thing there. So it's still very early days for Blankos. There is these things are being traded, not an enormous number. So this is all the sort of trading that's happened. So you can see an hour ago there was a few things being traded for $200, $113, $119. So still, I would count. Say this is sort of very very experimental activity. It's only been 1.6 ETH worth of trading. So what's that? That's about $4,000, $5,000 worth of trading. Not very much compared to the very big NFT projects. So we've got a long way to go if we expect Blankos to get there. But it does. We can see it has had an impact, even if we're a long way off, even from what was happening in December when we were almost up to 100%. So waves and troughs that happen in trading. Anyway, that was the update really for this week. Obviously keeping an eye on it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and get your regular updates. But thanks for watching, and see you again soon.